Bunch of fakers. Bunch of crazy fakers. I'm joking. I'm joking. So hopefully that doesn't trigger anyone here. Oh my gosh. So let me tell you. So this topic is going to be about dissociative identity disorder, because I'm just seeing so many things, people responding to you know who about this and that, and it's quite annoying to say the least. And I think there's a lot of the stuff that's going on that really needs to be brought to the surface about people who don't truly understand. Not only that, people who think so and so is a fake. Okay, I've heard it myself as well. So let's just put this into perspective. So people who think something is fake, who don't really understand, and we're talking about people who just doubt the disorder in general. Is it people who say, is it even real? Is it even real? Well, usually those people don't really understand. They would not understand a trauma-based disorder. They don't understand what it's like to go through a form of trauma that makes you dissociate and not want to be who you truly are. Your mind has been fragmented and splits, okay? So those people often do not understand what trauma is, or if they do, they just dealt with it a different way, okay? So those people will never truly understand, and you can't make them understand. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Now, I guess we've talked about how you can be hypnotized and being highly suggestible and this and that, and that to me always makes a lot of sense. Okay, it always makes a lot of sense to me how this condition would be real. And again, I'm not sitting here saying anyone is faking anything, because that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I know a lot of the people who disagree will say, well, this person is seeking attention. This person is fake and they're acting. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? And again, I have a hard time believing in that for everyone as well, because I can understand how things may look like acting. If you're the same person, if you look physically the same, it's like, oh, I'm talking like this one time, talking like that one time, I'm acting, right? I'm acting. But that's not the case either, because we have to understand where it originates from the child and the abuse that happened. So I just find that interesting. And it largely comes from people who don't understand trauma, subjective trauma, mind you, because trauma is different for everyone. And then it comes from people who are very critical of others, which I get it. I think we should always be skeptical of everything we see and hear. Okay? I don't think you should blindly believe or trust anything that you hear at all. Doesn't matter what it is. Nothing at all. And, I've talked about, how I disagree with a lot of different things. So always be skeptical. But when I see hatred being spread towards someone, I don't like that. I don't want to see that. I have my own beliefs of, this and that, and being skeptical of people, and not really believing, or not even maybe believing this condition being as it says it is. But at the same time, I have realized my own experiences with this, and how I've managed to see how this formed from a state of just pure mental chaos in my mind, just this thing happening, and then also just seeing how I managed to overcome those challenges and struggles. So I can see how that is real in that regard. So, but here's the other issue that I have. All the people, which, there's this huge controversy going on now, a lot of debates and nastiness being spread online about someone in particular. who recently came out. You know who we're talking about here. And here's what I don't like either. So even if you don't agree with this person about what they have, or maybe they said some things that were inaccurate with what they're saying, there is a lot of hatred being directed at this person. And I just can't see that. It's just absolutely horrible. Now, mind you, I'm sure there's definitely hatred on both sides. I get hatred for many different reasons. But when you see the nastiness and the like the death threats, the name calling, very nasty, vile names, it's like, why are you saying those nasty things? Why are you doing those nasty things? It just doesn't make any sense. And let's just say, for example, people who have followed this other person who, was very, for the most part, a bit politer and nicer about things, and then that whole audience turns on the other person and is saying mean and hateful things to them. It's like, well, what audience is this? What audience is this? Like, I would never want, if someone attacked me, if someone was saying mean and hateful things online, I would never want a single one of my followers to go over there and spread hate towards that person. That's not something that I want to see happen. But guess what? There will be people that do that. It's like, I would feel as though I failed at educating people of how to handle that sort of negativity. If I'm saying, don't focus on these people and just remain calm and just, don't worry about them. Yet people are not listening to what I taught them, and instead are just going over there and saying this and that to this other person. I would be like, you haven't listened to anything that I said. You haven't learned anything that I said. So I feel as though for some of that fan base, it is very much like that. It's like you have in your mind that this is how it's supposed to be, A, B, and C, and someone else comes along and it's X, Y, Z, and it's like, you're a liar, you're a fraud, you should, all these death threats and negativity, and I don't want to see it. And I shouldn't have to see it. And it shouldn't happen. But it does happen from people who, I just don't even know. It just comes from people who feel as though they are victims in some way. And it's just sad. It really is. So, as I said, I don't really want to see that happen. But it will happen. So I'm just curious as to know what your thoughts are. Because as I said, I don't take sides with anyone. I really don't. I don't think that, I can have my own beliefs about things. But at the end of the day, everyone has the right to express their views. And when I see hatred spread online about someone for any reason, even if they are a complete liar and a fraud and just whatever, I don't want to see that. And that is just vile wickedness that doesn't need to exist. That's the way I view it as, but that's just me. So let me know your thoughts on this. I guess really the other thing to mention here is that I myself have received a lot of criticism about, oh, you're fake this and that and this and whatever. Here is the best thing that I've heard. You're making fun of people with real mental health conditions. And then they go ahead and criticize me and say all these mean and hateful things to me. You should feel ashamed of yourself. But guess what? They don't realize that they just made fun of someone with a real mental health condition. And that's what's happening right now to this person online now. even if, without a doubt, that this person does not have this disorder, dissociative identity disorder, even if that's the case, making fun of someone and saying, you don't have this, you're a fake, you're a fraud, that's invalidating how they are, which, we should not do that, but also at the same time, we should not encourage people to be something that they're not. We should be encouraging people to be something positive, to be, who they truly are. But, again, from my own experience, even if I wasn't dealing with this disorder, which, I don't know. I had many symptoms of this. My therapist saw these different personalities that I had, and I ultimately integrated, which, we talked about that. So even if I did not have this, and people were saying, you're making fun of people with real mental health conditions, that right there is stigmatizing to me, because guess what? Even if I don't have what they say, what I'm claiming, I still have something going on, right? So you're making fun of me with someone with a real mental health condition. Do you see how contradictory that is and how bizarre that is? It's weird. It's really weird. But I guess people like to be hypocritical. People don't see it that way. People just say, you're fake, you're fraud, so you're automatically invalidated for anything. And it's like, no, that's just not how it is. That's just not how it is. So that's just my thoughts on this. We're going to talk a bit about this on my main channel. Meet My Alters Part 4 will come into light as someone suggested, how I integrated or whatever someone said. Mark/Marissa. I don't even. It's very suspicious. That account is very suspicious. So, yeah, we will. We'll see about that. We will. And yeah, hopefully it'll put the theories to rest about people claiming. That's the thing. There's plenty of people who have claimed A, B, and C. But no, they're very, very wrong and inaccurate statements. And here's the other thing that I don't like that I just remembered. And this happens with any mental health condition. You have depression. Let's say you have depression and then you see someone else who has depression as well, but they experience it differently than you do. Okay? So you're like, oh, that person doesn't have a depression. They are fake. They're a fraud. They're just saying that to look special. Guess what? That is stigmatizing to them because you don't know what they're going with. And not only that, they could experience it differently. So I don't like, and this is my own personal belief and opinion, when I see these channels who are heavily based around this condition, DID, and they claim, watch my channel because I'm the only accurate representation of this disorder. The information I put out is scientifically proven and accurate, and no other opinions are right. I've been professionally diagnosed, and I'm the one who has the right to say A, B, and C about this condition, and it is what it is. I mean, I've heard someone say, it's like, we're just going to forget all this other nonsense on a YouTube, and we're just going to focus on the facts, what it is. I teach you what it is. It was a very contradictory video, I remember, that said, like, it was hinting at me based on some information that I put out, saying, it's like some people are spreading some really crazy information online, but claiming that they're right and whatever, and it's like, but guess what? We're not gonna worry about them. No, we're gonna focus on what the facts are, and understand, the science behind this. But guess what? That's a very narcissistic point of view. I see that as very narcissistic, and the reason is because science is not always right. It's not. So when I see that, it's like, yeah, so why are you the only one who can spread accurate information, but someone else who has a different opinion than you is spreading false information? So I think it's just that these people don't really understand. They don't. They're not really understanding the fact that everyone has the right to their own opinions, and opposing views are not hate speech. And I feel as though some people, especially within that community, within the trans community, within a lot of mental health type of communities, they will automatically go to hate speech, discrimination, if you did disagree with anything that they say. And it's just, it's awful. And I try to stop that. Anyway, I'm gonna head off here now. I'm kind of done with this topic now. I felt as though I didn't even accomplish much talking about this. I recorded a part prior to this, like for 10 minutes I talked, and I didn't get anywhere, and I didn't feel as though I got anywhere here. So if you watch the whole thing, let me know. But I don't feel as though I really was doing much. I think because I was a little bit distracted. Let me show you what I was distracted with. Yes, I was just watching this. So I only made 54 today because for some reason this platform would just not be filling my orders in the paper money account. Okay, this is the fake money. I made $54 in fake money today. Yeah, because I was doing gold for the most part, JNUG, and I bought in, and then it just would not sell. It would not sell because I'm someone who likes to get in and out really quickly. So if I buy here and sell up here, I need to get out before it goes down anymore. So I did manage to make a little bit of money. I didn't really actually lose any. I maybe lost $10. So it was actually probably 65 if I didn't make that one bad trade. Actually, it was probably closer to 70. But the thing is, it just would not sell out for some reason. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to stop it. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know why it's doing that, but I'll tell you what I did with my real money. I bought in right around here because I saw it, it had this massive spike up, and ideally I could have made money if I bought in here and then it would have sold out up here. Would have been earlier in the day, but this was around 10 a.m. right here, and I saw it bounce off this yellow line, the VWAP line. So I'm like, yes. So I buy in, write it up, and sell out right around here, I think. And then as you can see, it pretty much turned around afterwards. And if it didn't hit my target, it would have stopped me out right here for a little bit of a loss. And right now it's mostly not even going above this line. Looks like it, unless it breaks it, it's like it's mostly going to be going down. But that's just what I did today. Made some money, fake money, but I also made some real money trading from here to here. So yeah, just kind of sucks that it just wasn't working right. I probably, because of how things were moving today, I could have made probably double, if not triple that, if it actually allowed me to get in and out like I normally do. But for some reason today it just was not responding correctly. Close out of the application, open it back up, it would not sell. It would not close my position. I'm just glad that the real money, it did close it. It did stop it. It reached my target, and I was kind of worried because it wasn't filling right away. I'm like, oh, come on, hurry up and sell out. And then it sold out. So I'm like, oh, thank goodness. So anyway, this was a very long video. Hopefully you took something away from it. I'm just curious to know what your thoughts are. If you think it's real or if you think it's fake, and it doesn't matter because people are dealing with something, okay? Something is going on. Even if this condition is not even real, something is going on. something is going on that needs to be addressed in some way. But yeah, all right. That's all. Take care. Bye-bye now.